else in the picture today, so I hope you enjoy. She'll watch over us that nothing happens to us, right? But we don't get too scared. Alright, so these are all from the subreddit Scary Stories. She's so cute. Alright, the first story is, I think 2 strangers saved my life. Long story. We'd love that. I was vacationing alone for several days in northern Maine, USA, renting an Airbnb, just me, 29 female, and my dog. It was a few weeks after a breakup. We were in between homes and wanted to get away to reassess and sort out my life. My second day there, I ran into the neighbours who lived there every summer. Husband and wife, plus 1 adult child and a grandparent. They were extremely nice and welcoming, and knowing I was travelling alone, invited me for barbecue and drinks multiple nights. Therefore, I went for a long, challenging hike and came back excited to jump into the lake. While floating around, I'm chatting with the neighbours who were on their porch, and a man, probably 40 to 45 years old, paddles over in a paddle boat. I figured he was another neighbour, and small talk was made. He was objectively handsome, fit, and dude. Unknown man invites me and my dog to join him in the paddle boat after watching us struggle to stay in the kayak. My dog is not the best kayaker. We try it, go for a paddle around, and I try getting to know him a bit more. He was a bit odd about sharing details about himself, and once or twice just straight up didn't answer me when I asked a question. He asked who I was travelling with. Red flag, and I lied and said I had some friends in town that would be returning soon. We paddle back to the dock attached to my rental, and he asks if he can throw his clothes in the dryer. Odd, but I did notice they got pretty soaked at the bottom of the boat. Whatever, I show him up the stairs and inside the point to point out the dryer and offer him a beer. I went back outside to sit on the porch where I could see my temporary neighbours. Probably 10 minutes pass and this dude is still inside, so I shout in to ask him what's up, and he's just sitting on the couch thumbing through the book I'm reading. Odd. Someone's getting tired. At this time, I start to feel weird about him being there. What was he doing for the 10 minutes? Casing the place, unlocking the windows. I go back outside and he follows and sits down sort of to the side by himself. I don't know what prompted her to say this, but my neighbour shouts over, "Hey, is now a good time to come over?" Her mom's sensors must have been going off. I shout back, "Yeah, now is the perfect time." The couple comes over and joins us on the porch. Dad talks to the stranger man while Mom talks to me off to the side and asks if everything is okay. I told her I was getting weird vibes from the dude and was really glad they came over. Abruptly, her husband says I left something at home, I'll be right back, and comes back with a fucking gun on his hip, very visibly. Now I'm like, yo, what is going on? He points to the stranger's pile of clothes etc. We did actually all decide to go and get ice cream after all, and on the way on a long dirt road, who do we see? Strange man walking alone in the pitch black. These two were so kind, aware, and I honestly wonder if they may have saved my life that day. They said they would sleep with their windows open and do holler if I need them, but God knows I didn't get a wink of sleep that night. One final creepy bit. I was checking out the next day, and when I went to return the key to the lockbox outside, the lockbox was gone. I alerted the homeowners, and they had no explanation. I didn't expect her to stay, but she's still there, still living. And she's honestly so cute. We've been getting along really, really well, and she's honestly, she's a perfect little baby, yeah, so I'm happy you guys finally get to see her as well. It's kind of the perfect time. Spooky season now with my little baby. Okay. My husband is not my husband. My husband is not my husband. I've been with my husband for 30 years. We fell in love in high school. We had a whole cliche. We live in a small town in Illinois. No kids. working on finding your family. What the fuck? Okay, at that point I was scared. Either it was a joke or I was in danger, and I didn't want to find out the hard way. So, in my bathrobe and slippers, I turned the TV off and set my half cup of coffee down. The shower was still running. But when I stood and made my way to the front door, it stopped. Not even 2 minutes after it turned on. I stopped 2 steps from the door. When I turned around, Jacob was right there. I jumped. He had a very over-exaggerated, worried look on his face, almost unnatural. You straddled me, I laughed, my heart racing. Is this my husband? I kept trying to examine him, but the way his body and face looked was so unsettling, I couldn't stare. Where were you going? He asks, monotone. Nowhere. I thought I heard someone on the porch. Good, I'm glad I can think fast, because he believed it. Oh, is there someone out there? The next 3 moments, I realized that it was no joke. Because when Jacob turned to go to the front door, he glitched. That's the only way I can explain it. It was like watching a video of an AI on TikTok or something. His arm was at one position, and then in 2 milliseconds it was behind his back. His head tilted to the side, and then his head went back, and his arm was back at his side, and then he was normally walking to the door. My heart was racing. I needed to get out. That was a quick shower, I said, swallowing hard. Yeah, I was sweating last night. I wanted to rinse off. That's a lie. He's a cold sleeper, and last night it was freezing in the bedroom. I still don't know how to got out. After all the small talk, I think that thing realized that I knew, and I think it tried to kill me. All I know is I didn't drink the smoothie and I got out. Now I am sitting with hundreds or thousands of other people in our town's mall. Everyone is quiet. Everyone had a traumatizing experience. All they have told us so far is that it was a failed experiment the government was working on that gained its own intelligence and has been multiplying, replacing our loved ones. It's not just our town, it's the whole country. If you're reading this and you think your loved one is not actually your spouse, kid, or friend, leave immediately. Find the officer and get to safety. This is not a joke. They told us that the death count in just this first week is over 1 million. These things are unbelievably smart. Please listen. Get out. Get out. Right now. That was a really good written story. I think she's sleeping. That's so cute, God. I'm like in full cat mom mode now. This is actually adorable. Little baby. So cute. Alright. this morning he told me he didn't remember doing that and that he was just sleep moving. When we are getting intimate, there's not one time where he doesn't bite my woman area and breasts. When I ask him why he does these things, he never really gives me a clear answer. He just says that I'm so cute. I don't think I believe him. Do you guys think he's a real cannibal or something? Or is he just weird? I think he's a vampire. Okay. When I woke up, I didn't have a mouth. When I woke up, I didn't have a mouth. I ran into my mom's room and she started screaming. I wanted to scream too, but I couldn't. At the hospital, the doctors were very confused. They took all kinds of x-rays and scans. My mom wanted them to just cut me a new mouth, but they said it wasn't that simple. They kept me there for a few days, but aside from not having a mouth, I was fine. I didn't have to eat anymore. Somehow, I just never got hungry. The doctors did everything they could to figure out what happened to my mouth, but after a few days, it seemed like they were more scared of why I wasn't hungry. After those few days in hospital, they sent me home. Mom said the insurance wouldn't pay for it anymore. I was still confused, but I thought the best thing to do was to just move on. Mom even seemed to be feeling a little better. On the car ride home, she made a joke about having one less mouth to feed. I wanted to laugh at it. Going back to school was tough. Even my friends shied away from me, so I wore a mask to cover where my mouth used to be. Even then, I could hear people talking about me behind my back. I carried around a little whiteboard to write things on, but it wasn't as fast as talking. I tried to focus on my classes, but everything was just harder. Obviously, I had to drop my public speaking class. I stopped eating lunch with my friends and would go to the library to read. It was just too awkward to sit around with everyone else eating. Even when people did talk to me, it seemed like they weren't asking about my mouth, they were thinking about it. It was the same thing at home. My mom and I used to eat dinner together every night, but now I just sat and watched TV while she ate. A few times at first, she'd forget and cook me something too. She'd just apologize and put it in the fridge. I didn't even used to like her cooking, but those days I'd have done anything for just one bite. I tried to spend time with her anyway, but eventually I decided to spend more time out of the house. Being around anybody just feels weird. At least if I wasn't there, they wouldn't have to think about my weird non-mouth situation. I ended up going on long walks throughout the woods. I'd leave a note saying I was sleeping over at a friend's house and then just start walking out past where the streets ended into the trees. Sometimes on weekends, I'd even kept walking into the night, and the next morning before I got home, I didn't seem to run out of energy or get tired, probably as a side effect of not having to eat. I still sleep, at least back then. When I was able to get away from other people and just walk into the stillness of nature was really when I was the happiest. At least there my silence wasn't strange. I came across deer and have conversations in subtle gestures, and twigs snapped underfoot. Even after the sun went down, I didn't stop walking. I carried a flashlight with me at first, but after a few weeks I didn't need it. One weekend I decided to walk to the next town over, just to see if I could. I spent all night walking through the dark forest, avoiding the trails and roads. nice, not even a way of relating to another person about it. So I just stood there, looking in through the glass for a few moments and left. I didn't go back home after that. I just walked off into the forest again, away from the lights and noises of the city and into the accepting stillness of the woods. Free from fatigue or direction, I walked between the trees like a shadow. My body changed further as if it approved my decision to flee. It was subtle at first. My legs grew longer to let me step over logs and streams, while the rest of my body became better at seeing and moving at night. I haven't looked in the mirror in a while, but the last time I came across a hiker, they turned and fled. I can see the city lights from the hills. I turned my phone back on for the last time to post this, just in case anyone wanted to know how my story ended. I'm fine with my 15 minutes of fame being on the side of a milk carton. I don't know if I could have it any other way. It's quiet where I am now. I go down to the edges sometimes, the places where the woods and towns tentatively touch. I can't go back over that border. It's not a world I know anymore. But here in the safe, still solitude of the trees, I can embrace what was always within me. Maybe that is worth not going back. That's really good. I really enjoyed that story. That was awesome. She's so adorable. Can you see her? Can you see her? I don't know if you can. I think she's just really enjoying spending time with us today. She's so cute. Okay guys, I'm going to make a part 2 to this video. If you're wondering why, I'm having major issues currently with my editing program not allowing me to export large files. It's just been taking forever to even export small files. It's annoying as hell, I swear to God. It's so annoying because it takes me 5 hours to export the video, and to exporting it just means, to convert the file when I'm done editing it, and back in the day that will work within 5 minutes, and now it takes ages, and it's so annoying. So I'll keep this a bit shorter so I don't have to wait forever, but I will upload part 2 probably tomorrow. So this will probably be Saturday and Sunday's video, so keep your eyes out for that.